Good morning, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. I know you got better things to do. This is Candidate Pace. Just sit back for a minute and give me a moment to collect my thoughts, also get some paperwork squared away, and then we will take it from there. Although I do want to say thanks for everybody. Thanks for voting. Don't forget to turn those ballots back in. You can take them right down to the district office at 8046 Eastonville Road. Make sure that when you do get your ballot, if you don't trust the mail system like I don't, based on the information I got, and the fact that I found out that some of the post people, or some of the carriers for the post office were making statements about me on Facebook, which is now currently, well, we'll leave that for them to deal with, okay? Because I know I had my thoughts on it, and I had the paperwork to bring down there to show them, and they weren't real happy about it. All right, statement of material change in financial condition was this famous memorandum everybody is downloading and reading. Wasn't my memorandum. Okay, the audits aren't mine, the books aren't mine, the financials aren't mine. The documents on the website are third-party documents for the most part, okay? There are a few there for me, you'll see what they are. Somebody said that we don't have any money. In the back of this document, it tells you right here that it says that we only have 1.7 in unrestricted cash. That's not all the unrestricted cash we have, okay? The auditor at the June 22nd meeting sat in a room about 5 feet in front of me in a recorded video that I have. I'm going to upload it, basically telling everybody in the room that we had $12 million in unrestricted cash. Unrestricted means that the money is not already set aside for something in particular. It's money that's been put in the bank. The fact is the money is there. How it got there is up for contention, but that money has been accumulating in the bank since I've been here. It started off at 4, okay? And the misnomer about that money was also made by the ex-board members, okay? It wasn't put there out of the kindness of the heart of the developers, okay? I want to make that very clear. That $4 million was not put there out of the generosity of the developers, okay? It was required to be there. It was mandated to be there, okay? There's a big difference, okay? What I also am going to explain to you today is in the back of these documents, under the balance sheets, if you bother to go and look, it'll tell you what our assets are, okay? And our assets are things that we have under the operational and non-operational funds, okay? So if you look back at the total checking and savings, it tells you we have $11,100,000. That was the money that the auditor was speaking of, and it's right here in their documents. These are not mine, okay? So when we have a statement of material change, it basically tells people we got problems, all right? These documents and information were not released by this district. Again, something else you might want to know while you're out there getting ready to vote for a candidate is somebody's claiming I'm aggressive and all these things, and that's fine. I want to address that. I've been pretty much under the gun for several years. This is the first time in 4 years I've actually been able to go out and walk the streets and meet people and say hi and introduce you to me. It's kind of hard to do it when you have medical situations that necessitate you not, well, make it so you can't. All right. So one of the things that somebody says is, well, first it was I was never going to get along with everybody. Now they had to dump that. Then they said I was threatening everybody. They had to dump that. Then they came out and said I was doing all these things in a court of law, right? But when we actually got to the hearing and got to court, they dumped all those defenses. See where I'm going? They make the accusations, I have to defend them. Well, I don't want all this drama. Here's the drama. I have to live with that. That drama is your elected officials and the developers started on me. That means I have to defend whatever they say. I don't like drama either. It costs me a lot of money. So you're right with the drama stuff, but it wasn't Mr. Pace who started the drama, and it's not Mr. Pace on several websites making statements about Mr. Pace about all these things I've done, including the incumbents' wives and the candidates' wives, okay? I just hit you with the facts. It takes way too long to go through drama, and I agree with you. But here's the good news. This flyer is pretty self-explanatory. I'm sorry it was upside down, and tells you exactly what I'm going to do. It's pretty self-explanatory. Somebody said this was one person, and it was a person that's saying that they're no longer going to vote for me, and I apologize. You do have 4 other excellent candidates of the new side ready to go, ready to help you with your needs. Talks about what I want to do, and I had someone actually help me write this. So there's nothing hostile about this flyer. This flyer is going to tell you, it explains what happened, how we got to where we are. A simple explanation is needed because people are wondering why I'm still here. I'm still here because I stood up to them. And they lost in spades, okay? So I didn't want to bring that up during the election, but I think it's worth noting, okay? And that includes Woodman Hills. And Woodman Hills took their shots, and it's all on record, okay? So what I want to let you know is that we have infrastructure needs, and those infrastructure needs were never supposed to be paid for by us, not a single one. In the service plan from 90, well, actually, let's go back a little further. In the original service plan, the original one that was sent in by Woodman Hills and Associates before Woodman Hills PFA and Falcon Properties Investments, all these people got together, specifically shows that the county commissioners would not allow them to burden us with debt. That's why we have a cap of $16.2 million in bonds that we can do. It's either 16.2 or 16.4. That means we can never take out any more money to do anything in this district over $16.5 million. I'm just going to round up the number, okay? What you do not know was what you're about to know is that we're at $38 million. A far cry from 16.5. I'm not done yet. On the PFA side of it, in their tax returns last year, it shows an increase in a lease agreement that was supposed to go down even after we paid off one of the COPs that was owed to the PFA. Or through to the PFA. We're basically just, they're a paying agent. We pay them the money, they disperse the money, okay? You may not know that. Well, as an educated voter, you should. Because Woodman Hills just sends money out every month, month after month after month. They come back and tell you, we can't do this, we can't do that. The bonds did this, the bonds did that. All of it isn't accurate. I said, well, Mr. Pace, what's not accurate? Well, I've been trying to explain that to you on this website. And it's not accurate, okay? And if people really knew what I knew, they would be infuriated that we're paying for infrastructure that was put in 20 years ago and still on the books that we were never supposed to pay for. I'm going to repeat that again. We were never supposed to pay for the infrastructure in Woodman Hills that was supposed to be paid for by the developers. And those same developers were the ones that were attacking me. Because I found out. And they didn't want me to tell the public what I found. Done. Now, when you sit there and you're putting pen to paper and you're trying to figure out who to vote for, it took me 5 years to find all the information. Okay? Nothing against the other candidates, but I'm the only candidate that went in search of the truth. And when I found it, there was nothing the district could do but say he's wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, I'll tell you what. If I'm wrong and I don't know what I'm talking about, why did Woodman Hills stop allowing me to get core records to back up what I found, because I already had the original stuff? Why did they stop me from getting public records about the financial records for the last 8 years? I know. And they know I know. Okay? So the $16 million worth of debt, with the exception of the rec center, which was something we agreed to put in, and it wasn't done by the developers as part of an infrastructure plan. Everything else was infrastructure, and we should have never had to pay that debt back, and that was $13 million. You don't have to take my word for it. I had another gentleman come in and look at all 3 service plans and specifically note that the county commissioners did not want us paying for it, and we are. That's why we're $13 million in the hole. And if you don't want to take my word for it, all those documents are right here. Just type in service plan. I'm Mr. Pace. You might want to get the facts about what they hid from you and why they tried to stop you from ever finding out what I found out. And I found this out the hard way. Okay? So, when someone says Mr. Pace is running for the board or he has an aggressive nature and he's this, that, and the other thing, no, I'm not. But here's the problem. This would be the first year that I've been able to come out and actually do an election. And it's scaring the bejesus out of all of them. Because they know, and I know, along with even the ex-managers know, and the ex-directors that are no longer here, that I can go in there and cut the operating costs, take that money, reinvest it back into the district, and cut those bills quick. And I mean quick. Okay? I can also change the park and rec structure back to the way it used to be, because we have what's called qualified immunity as a district, because we are not a public entity for profit business. We are a non-profit, quasi-municipal governmental entity under Title 32. There is an entirely different set of legal circumstances we're subject to, unlike a regular fitness center or anything like that. That's why when I first got here, no one had to sign that agreement, because it wasn't required. And the reason why you're doing it now is because of a false statement made by the board of directors claiming it was the fault of their insurance company, when I actually got a hold of them and a lot of other insurance companies and found out that that language was not mandated. Mr. Pace, there is no reason why you shouldn't have a board member looking out for you and your family. I'm that board member. Now, I didn't put it in a flyer because, quite frankly, it would take too long for me to do that. Plus, there's just not enough paper. Now, don't forget to vote. Let's honor some of those veterans who put on a uniform and paid the ultimate sacrifice so we could have the right to do exactly what I'm telling you to do today. Okay? So, don't forget to vote. I would really appreciate it. If you got any questions or concerns, phone number 719-217-0891. I'm not kidding. Pick up the phone and ask me a question. Ask me any question you want. If I can't convince you on the phone that I'm not the things they said I am, then you have 4 other great candidates you can vote for. But if you think the incumbents are doing a great job, I give it about 3 years and there won't be anything left to fight for. Have a good day.